Welcome to another FOMO Reviews, where I review movies or shows that have a fear of missing out on. Today, it's Cowboy Bebop. So if you were like me, you have heard endlessly good things about this anime. You've seen it on many top 10s. If you're also like me, you were intimidated by the commitment that comes along with animes. And if you're still like me, you're a stupido that never got around to it. Until this little streaming service called Netflix decided to make it a live action version. That's where the FOMO kicks in. And I'm here to tell you, regardless of what you think of the live action one, whether you saw it before or after, you need to watch this anime. First of all, comparatively, it's super short. It's only one season of 26 episodes or of 20-something minutes each episode. And the way it's brilliantly paced, each episode is a breeze. This is due to the director Shinichiro Watanabe saying he did not want the series to become like Star Trek, with him being tied to it doing it for years. Hopefully I didn't butcher your name, my lord. So with that in mind, it makes sense that every episode starts and concludes its conflict within the episode. So Cowboy Bebop is a Japanese science fiction neo-noir anime about a group of bounty hunters running around the solar system trying to collect the hefty bounties placed upon these space criminals. Like I mentioned before, the episodes would start and end with the bounty or a problem to solve within the episode. Even though you know what they have to do, the who and the how is what really matters. Each time it's wildly different, and there's the aftermath that carries over from each episode, with their rarely, if at all really, leaving you with a cliffhanger, which I love. Nowadays, it's rare not to have an evil entity or bad guy who wants to take over the world to focus your hate on. Today they feel the need to rely on good versus evil tropes, but here they don't even bother. There are bad guys and evil people, but there isn't a single mastermind behind it all. Instead, we start and conclude the bad guy stories in the same episode while also shining a light on the main characters with backstories or ghosts from their past. And the backstories humanize these characters with a lot of heart, and they do it beautifully, avoiding cheese, which is very important. Each of the main four characters play their role perfectly, as well as the criminals, each being different and unique, but most importantly, interesting and entertaining. The design and some of the look of these characters are so unique they just stay in your mind. I feel like some movies and shows would greatly benefit from this approach. This is not to say everything is all kumbaya. There is a standout evil guy, but he only really has beef with the main character, Spike. The crew's goal is money. They're starving half the time and they bounty hunt for the Wulong, aka the Dyers, aka La Feria, aka the Mula, the money. So Spike is our main squeeze. He's a mysterious, cool space cowboy who also kicks ass. He's kinda set up like the character who thinks he's cool but he's actually not cool and comes off more as a jokey, but in Spike's case, he's actually really cool. And everything that he's bragging about, he backs it up. He has this believability in his cockiness. Next we have Jet Black. He's like the brute of the bunch. He's also the captain of the Bebop, which is the name of the ship. There's also Ein. He's a really smart corgi. Enough said. Faye Valentine is the troubled femme fatale, and rounding up the crew we have Edward, who is an elite hacker prodigy from Earth, and a very strange, somewhat androgynous and extremely intelligent teenage girl of around 13 years of age. As a fellow Edward myself, I've never seen a female Edward before. As a sidebar, even though they call her she in the show, and sometimes even mixing up the genders, they could be trans. And for a show that came out in the late 90s, it has a lot of LGBTQ+ representation, and I just wanted to shout them out for that. And it wasn't done by using aliens or droids. They used human characters, and there's quite a few of them. There's gay, trans, and even non-binary characters. It's quite ahead of its time. I do believe anime is an art form that transcends time. Even though at times it can look and feel old, it fits perfectly with the themes. Audibly, it's dated with older anime tropes and certain sounds that shows its age a bit. Speaking of the sound, the music. The main music is jazz and blues, but honestly there's at least one song of every genre across the whole series, and it's fantastic. Especially when it's layered on top of fun and creative space dogfights and hand-in-hand combats and smooth gunfights. This is truly a space western that immediately draws you in. They know exactly when to drop the music too. It's not in every action scene. Some action scenes are silent, which enhance the drama and takes a serious tone. It depends on what and who they're fighting. I guess the gorgeous visuals help too. There are thousands of frames that I would love to make into posters, seriously. The series really does deserve to be on everyone's top 10 anime lists. The word of mouth from this 1998 cult classic isn't overhyped. The only negative comment I could probably conjure up is that they do go into the well of breaking up the band a lot. It got old. It's done so much, but each time it's justified. And it went with the character that was splitting up. It made sense. I just personally got a bit tired of it. Other than that, it's pretty flawless. I enjoyed it, especially because they concluded this story. They didn't drag it out for more non-consequential seasons. They didn't stretch it out for more money. They served and respected this series. They worked for the series, not the other way around. There is maybe one filler episode, a la Fly episode from Breaking Bad, but just like that episode, it's a nice break from the rest of the episodes. And it's the most memorable for it. So do yourself a favor and watch it. I consider myself an anime noob, and I 1000% recommend it to everyone. So let me know what you think of the series down in the comments. And if you like this video, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, along with podcasts and much more. And remember, always and forever, you do you.